Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how I remade Castro, or also known as Black Ops, by Trippie Redd.
When this beat's
Walked out the house looking like a leak. Nigga try me, pop a minute shit. Your hoe won't let me hit.
Quickly, I just wanted to mention that I've already done a remake on Trippie Redd's Cloud9, or also known as 4 Stars. I've also done a remake on Stoned, Vibes, RIAA and Supercell. Of course, we got Holy Smokes and Another Day, which he still hasn't dropped yet, but I'm still waiting for the day that he does. I've also done a remake on K Suave's Sexually Active, which was featuring Trippie Redd, and of course we got Mr. Rage. I've also done remakes of other pre-released songs like Finish Line, Something About Me, Spacetime, Molly Hard, and Gone, or as it's known by now, MP5. And I got the original Mr. Rage remake that I made back in January 2021. The entire playlist is going to be in the description down below, so if you want to see my other remakes, just head down there. Out of all of these remakes that I've done right here on this playlist, I've mostly used Serum and of course some other drums, and all of those are actually available in either the Trip at Night drum kit, which you can find on my BeatStars page, and there's also a link for it down below. And if you want a full preview of all the sounds, there's actually a preview video as well down in the description. And here's a quick preview of the presets that I have in the serumbank, so you can just pause the video if you want to read all of these sounds right here. Starting off with the sample, I haven't recreated it, but I know that there's some type of string and pad that's being used in this, and there's actually two parts to the sample, which you can hear right here. You can clearly hear that there's this high-pitched string playing, and in the background you have this sound, which is either a pad or a string that's lowered in pitch. And the samples are both hitting at around 15 to 12 dB. So as you can see, there's not a lot going on in the song. It's actually only 3 drums, and the first one is the 808. There's actually 2 808 patterns used in this song to make some variety, and this is the second pattern. And as you can see, this 808 note right here is actually ringing out, and that is because I'm going to use it to my advantage later in the song. The thing that I did with this 808 is that I routed it to mixer track number 2. I then put on a fruity limiter and tweaked the settings a little bit. Then I added a soft clipper, and the 808 is hitting at around -3 dB. Then we move on to the clap, which plays this pattern. As you can see, this isn't the standard clap pattern that you usually hear on Trippie songs. This is more of a drill inspired clap pattern, and by that I mean that the clap is hitting on the 3 and the 8, or the 3 and the 4 respectively. And as for the clap, I just let it sit at around -9 to 6 dB. Then we move on to the hi-hat. I actually used the hat that's used in Supernatural by Trippie Redd on Trip at Night, but of course you know that there's 2 parts of this song. I also have the 808s for both of the parts, but I used the hat that's used in part 1 of the song, and this is the pattern that it plays. This is just a basic 2-step pattern, but I routed it to mixer track number 5, put on wider, and I tuned it to be at around 48%. I then panned the hi-hat a little bit to the left and actually turned up the gain a lot, which you can also hear in the original song because the hi-hat is actually turned up quite a bit. And as you can see, the hi-hat is sitting at around 9 to 12 dB. When it came to the structure, I just listened to the snippets that were available and made this. Something that I'm not 100% sure about is this automation pattern right here. I'm fairly certain that this is what actually is happening in the song, but again, the snippet that I was listening to was very low in quality, so I'm not too sure, but I'm just gonna leave it in there. If you want to recreate this effect for yourself, you could just go and open up Fruity Parametric EQ2. You then want to move your cursor over to the top purple part and scroll down 3 until you can see on the top left that we have selected high pass, which you can see right here. You then want to move your cursor down to this dot right here and then just scroll fully down till we have selected the steep 8, which can also be seen up in here. Then you navigate over to the dark blue and then just scroll all the way and then scroll up one till we see that we have selected a low pass, and then we do the same thing down here. So what I do is that I drag number 1 all the way, then I move the 7 knob a little bit, and you can also do this by going down here, and this is actually where I recommend doing it because then you could right click this one and then you want to press create automation clip. So when you do that, the automation clip is going to stretch out over the entire song, but we just want it for one part. So then we could just move it to the part of the song where we want it to activate, and then we just shorten it down. Now we have a few points on this automation clip, and as you see, when the points are at the top, that means that the EQ is fully to the right, and as it plays, it goes down. So when making this automation clip, I let the value sit at around 0.48. When you're listening to the song at around the 1 minute mark, you can actually hear that the 808 fades out a bit before going over to a second 808 pattern. So that's why I left the 808 note right here in the second pattern to ring out or fade out, so that I could make it as accurate as possible. When it came to the rest of the pattern, I just listened to the snippets and tried to recreate it. So make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the bell so you know when I'll post my next remakes. And if there's any other remakes that you guys want me to do, make sure that you leave a comment requesting it and I'll be sure to check them out. So without further ado, here's the entire beat.